Hello, everyone, and welcome to round 7 of season 5 of FCDR Racing League. Alex, will you take us round the Portugal track map of Portimao?
And hey, guys, how's it going? We've got a full grid today, so I'm over the moon. Now, round 7, it's time to get tasty. Now, Portugal, pretty tricky circuit, easily spins. There's a lot of hills, downhills. Yeah, it's all out of gaff to be honest. But anyway, into turn 1, tricky, but only have to lift off and turn 2 flat into a little hairpin of turn 3. Round turn 4 is a big elevation and can really snap out into turn 5, another little hairpin, really tricky on exit. Turn 6 flat out. Turn 7 only off the throttle into Samsung turn 8. Then into turn 9 flat out and into turn 10, 11, probably the best corners on the track in my opinion. Nice was it. Then flat turn 12, tricky elevation into turn 13, but around there, downhill from there. Turn 14, then turn 15 flat out and back uphill and across the line with DRS. Let's go into qualifying.
Yeah, first of all, look at the standings. So, Lewis Piper still in the lead after victory at Great Britain. Phoenix spinning on the penultimate lap cost him the victory there. And the constructors, we have Ferrari leading the charge on 119 points. Williams closing behind on 103. Second team to 100 points. Red Bull in behind on 91, continuing their fantastic charge that they've had in the past few races. Alfa Romeo comfortably sat in 4th on 70 points, with Haas behind on 66. So we will move on to qualifying.
Now, we've never done Portimao before, so it's going to get interesting to see how we get along. The pace is, I think we're going to have a mixed bag here in qualifying. 17 minutes, full pace, don't hold yourself back. Portimao, new track in FCDR. Let's see what everyone can do. We've got some new drivers out on track, like Jamie in Mercedes. Genator is a tier 2 driver, as you might know. Very strong pace and good to get the opportunity today. Race Addiction in the McLaren. And I think that's it for the new drivers. I'm not sure if you've seen any in the past. But good luck to everyone today around Portimao.
Here we go then. Qualifying around Portimao.
For the first time, it's going to get interesting. Who do you think is going to grab pole position?
Oh, I think it will be... Let's go with Phoenix. We had Jake Squid in the Discord, not Jake Squid, sorry, Lewis Piper in the Discord saying that he's not the best at this track, so he thinks that Phoenix will win also. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Phoenix. What about you?
I'm gonna say this might be controversial.
Is it 10 plus?
I think 10 plus might grab it. It's his own race. It's like it's FZR's pretty much second home race with 10 plus driving. But yeah, I hope he's up there. I hope he's in the top 3. I'm not saying pole. I don't want to jinx him. Commentator's curse. But 10 plus for me. At his own race, surely he's got to be strong around this 4.6 kilometre circuit. It's going to get interesting.
Once again,
but
him and Lucas Charles putting in the practice. Can it pay off? I tell you, past few races it has worked, so let's see. We'll ride on board with Lucas Charles on his first lap, see where he can put it.
Yeah, Lucas Charles has been very, very strong. Unlucky not to get his first win in Hungary, of course. It was very, very close to grabbing it off of Jamal. It was a very close battle, but just didn't have the straight line speed to get past, and the tyres started to wear out at the end. But Lucas Charles, you've got to think, he's going to be hunting for that win, and you never know. Today might be his day. We've got some good, tough challenges, and the top 5 is going to be very, very close. Phoenix, 10 plus, Lucas Giles, Piper up there, Jake Squid. Can't count anyone out, but Yeah, it's going to get very close. And Lucas Giles is about to set the first lap for the Red Bull pair. Now, going into turn 1, let's see what lines people are going to take. Around the 50-metre board, turns in nicely. On the throttle, pretty handily. Take it away, Lucas Giles. Now, looking nice. Bit cautious on the throttle, which is understandable. Never done in real life in these cars, but in the game, it's a first for us. Now, it's probably one of the trickiest corners to get on the power on exit. You don't want to be lighting up the rears as much. Nicely does it for Lucas Giles into Samsung. But yeah, looking nice for Lucas Giles so far. Setting decent sector times on his banker lap, of course, so just wants to get a nice clean lap in to get used to how qualifying feels. Probably done some quali sims in single player with his teammate maybe. But let's see where the Red Bulls can put it. As the first lap is in, it's a 17.6 and it's set by Jake Squid. I think that's a pretty strong lap time from what I know. As Tempos is just behind by 1/100th of a second. That is very, very close. But Lucas Giles, can he beat it? DRS wide open across the line. It's a 117.7. A tenth separates them. Very close. But the Red Bulls yet again very close together. Good team as they've both confirmed new contracts for 2 seasons in these Red Bulls. So it's good to hear that the Red Bulls have confirmed these drivers because they are very, very quick and they both definitely have the pace. Now Phoenix, as we saw, winless still in F-Sedar, very, very close, touching distance in Britain. On the penultimate lap, someone, Phoenix is going to cross the line and he's going to put it in P3. A 10th behind Jake Squid. The Red Bull family teams seem to have the pace. Jake Squid comfortably in pole position by a 10th of a second to Phoenix, with Tempos the closest to him in P2. Now on board with Seth Martin. Seth Martin got some big points in, I think it was, I don't know where he got his first points, I've forgotten, but he's going to look to add Miami. He did get some good points. He got his first points in Miami, then backed it up in Monza, if I remember. I think he got the spin in Samsung. That's a shame for Seth Martin, but as that is one of the trickiest corners, yeah, you can't doubt it. But yeah, Seth Martin is going to want to add on to it, but we are looking at the other Aston Martin of Striker Boy. Van Samsung does it a lot cleaner than his teammate. Striker Boy, we've seen, get so consistent in the points this season. One of the most consistent out there at the moment. Last time out didn't quite go his way. I'm pretty sure didn't really get as many points as he wanted. But Striker Boy is going to want to add to that tally in the drivers and constructors of Aston Martin too. Striker Boy went from Haas to Aston Martin earlier this season. Let's see if it was a good move. Come the end of the season across the line. It's 118.1, puts him behind Jamal in P7. Big shout to Jack Kraft, first race back today, and puts it ahead of Jamal. Jamal may not have the pace. As Seth Martin is gonna want to go on another lap. His fast lap of 1:38.9, but obviously that is with the spin, so he's going to want to improve massively. 2/10 down in the first sector, but it's all to gain in the second out of Samsung. Let's see if he can do it right this time. He has done out of Samsung. It's a decent exit, and let's see how much he's improved going into turn 10 and turn 11. Nice, it does it. Now gets on the power. Nice, probably could have got on it a bit earlier. 17 seconds up, of course, because he did make that mistake. And he is heading for around a 120. Now rounds out the final corner, needs to gain a bit more. His ERS is pretty low for this last straight, but I've seen it with Striker Boy 2. Maybe just can't manage it around the lap, it might be too long for these cars, but DRS wide open across the line, it puts it in P9, decent lap time, just behind Race Addiction in P8. It's getting very close at the top.
Kevin the Slide, see what he can do. If he's not going into bits, I don't think he is.
I think this will be a first lap, but no ERS for Kevin the Slice, which is going to be, yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's very easy.
You might just realised.
It's very easy to use a lot of your ERS before the back straight, but you've got to try and save some. It's so long. But so Kevin the Slice using it all. See what Tempest can do after his banker lap.
Now Tempos, of course, has been looking good so far and slots it in P2 at the moment, just behind his Red Bull opposites AlphaTauri of Jake Squid by 100th of a second, which is really, really close. But flat out, pedal to the metal. Let's go Templos. Home race for the first time in FSDR. And let's see what Templos can do. DRS wide open and a cross line. We are starting the lap into turn 1. This is where time can slip away, just the car. Just so, oh, there's a spinner there. Ignore that. But into turn 3. Nicely does it. No mistakes on the power, probably a lot more than I've seen from other drives today. DRS wide open, see how much he's improved in sector 1. 3 temps, that is huge. Purple sector 1 by a country mile, that's fantastic sector 1 time for Templos. Templos is really up there. Maybe my prediction is finally going to go its way. Templos into turn 7. Lovely. So far, no mistakes into turn 8. And he's kept it together. Templos is looking very mighty in this Red Bull. They've looked a charge in the championship in the second half of this season, and they're going to want to keep it going. The consistency is there. Templos with 2. Oh wow, an extra 4 attempts in the second sector. This is looking a fantastic lap for Templos. Jack Kraft has just put it on provisional pole by a 10th, but Templos is going to look like he's going to destroy that. Rounds out turn 14, now turn 15. He has been mighty on this lap in sector 1 and sector 2. DRS is going to be wide open and across the line. Templos, it's a 1:17.2. That's a fantastic lap time from Templos. He's going to want to get in the set 16s by the look of it. But Templos is looking absolutely mighty. Wow, what a lap from Templos.
Lucas Charles 2 temps up, sets purple middle sector. Can he beat his teammate Templos on pole and see the Red Bulls go for a second half of the season title charge?
Oh wow, into turn 15 we go then. Lucas Shiles, is he going to want to make it a 1-2, and is he going to be the driver in front on this occasion? DRS wide open across the line, puts it in P2, 3 temps gained. That's a good lap from Lucas Giles, and it's a Red Bull 1-2. We've seen this before. Wow.
See what Nova can do in P7. Can he improve on his time?
Now Nova's gonna want to get into the 17s to have a chance of getting in the top 5. It's looked a good first half of qualifying for now. Ooh, and the commentators curse. What a shock. Always happens. Striker Boy, 1.5 temps up by the looks of it into turn 2. Makes it purple in sector 2. 2.5 temps up now for Striker Boy. Striker Boy, is he going to want to challenge the Red Bulls? Or is he just at least going to want to get it in the top 5? Even beating the Ferraris would be absolutely fantastic for Striker Boy. Now into turn 15. Rounds it out, flat out of course. ERS, DRS across the line. Everything used to 1:17.8. Puts it in P6 and passes Jamal in the Ferrari. Now Lewis Piper on his first lap of the day. And he's going to want to make a dent in the top 5. And definitely catch up and get past his championship rivals of Jamal and Phoenix, but don't count out the Red Bulls, of course. They are looking mighty so far today. Now Lewis Piper said he hasn't got that much practice in Portimao. Let's see what the pace is. It's purple in sector 2, it's 52.5 at the moment, but it looks mighty so far for Lewis Piper. Has Lewis Piper played a bit of a bluff saying he hasn't practiced at all? And is Lewis Piper going to be dominant again? The Red Bulls have looked quite quick But is the Williams gonna look even quicker? At the moment, it's a Red Bull 1-2. Is the Williams of Lewis Piper gonna make it a gap? Puts it in P5.
Jake Squid 100th up so far on his last lap time. See if he can improve even more going into sector 3.
Now Jake Squid is going to want to at least get it in the top 3, I reckon, but Tempos has looked absolutely mighty. 2 tenths it's the gap so far, and he is looking absolutely formidable. But Jake Squid, is he going to get it in the top 3?
He's in the bits. I say I didn't see his ERS going down. Jamal, see what you've got.
Now Jamal, he's looked pretty close in the top 10, and even a 10th or 2 gained is going to put him in the top 7. So every 10th counts. Everything he can gain is important for his championship, and probably needs to get in the top 5. Oh, it's a big slide on the rears, and we have seen many drivers struggle with the elevation change going into turn 8, and I think he has backed out on his lap. But has seemed to struggle recently. New track in Essadar, and probably a new track for most of these drivers. It's a rare one that you drive on. I mean, I ain't driven it quite a lot, and I find it really tricky to get used to with the elevation change. But yeah, it's all to play for in the top 5.
You lose 5 for the follow. Who shall we go on board with? Who's about to start a lap? Brodo, let's see what he's got.
Now, Brodo is a Tier 2 driver also, raced out in Britain and got his first point, I'm pretty sure. Oh, overstepped it. Oh, that's very tight as well. That's I've been struggling with that a lot too in time trials, so I don't blame him for doing that as well. That's a pretty tricky corner to get used to. But, oh, I've just seen a spin. I think that was Jake Squid on his outlap. But Seth Martin, DRS, wide open. Seth Martin's going to want to improve to get into the top 5. He's currently in P8, gains and gets purple sector 1. That's a fantastic sector 1 time for Seth Martin. Seth Martin's going to look very good to get in the top 5 and maybe beat Lewis Piper to get that 5th place spot. At the moment, it's looked like Seth Martin struggled on his first couple laps, but he's going to want to get a clean one in now. Seth Martin into sector 2, rounds it out pretty nicely, 2.5 tenths up. That's a purple sector for sector 2. It's all about sector 3, and let's see how he can gain there. Sector 3 is the important one for Seth Martin on this occasion. Purple sector 1 and sector 2. Now sector 3, is he going to make it a full purple lap? Is Seth Martin actually going to challenge the top 3? 2.5 tenths up so far.
DRS as well.
He has got ERS this time. Now DRS is going to be wide open across the line. It's a 17.5 and puts it in P3. That's a fantastic lap from Seth Martin. Oh wow, that's a great lap from Seth Martin. It looks a bit struggly in the first few laps of Seth Martin. He's going to put it in P3. That's phenomenal so far. Now Jake Squid is going to want to regain those positions and keep it in the top 3. Only got a tenth to gain. Oh, he's overstepped his mark going into turn 1. Yeah, it's unlucky. There's Andre, rounds out turn 11, and he's down on his lap time. Not going to want to carry on. Jamal is starting a lap for Jamal then. Let's see what Jamal can do to challenge the top 5 runners. He is about to start his lap. We've seen a lot of struggles going into turn 1. Let's see what Jamal can do to challenge the top 5. Now into turn 1. Takes a nice careful line. Very close to invalidating it, but keeps it under control. Jamal this season has looked rapid in that Ferrari, and the main challenge to Lewis Piper's charge early on in the season. He's gained by about half a tenth in Sector 1. He's going to want to gain a lot more than that to get in the top 5 here in Portimao. Rounds out turn 7 and going into turn 8. The big elevation change, of course, on this track. And Samsung does it well on the power nicely. Let's see how he does into turn 10 and turn 11. Takes a neat line, does Jamal. Rounds out sector 2, and it's a 10th up so far for Jamal. That is at the moment going to put him in P9. He's going to want to improve a lot more than that, as we've seen grid penalty for Nova Gibson for collision with Janata. I'm not sure what happened there. But in sector 3, going to round out a lap. Jamal is going to want to improve slightly more in sector 3. He's going to cross the line. Is he going to put it in the top 5? Yes, he can easily. It's into 3rd. That's a great lap from Jamal. Must have improved quite a lot in sector 3. He looks like he was only a 10th and a half up in sector 2. That's a fantastic lap.
Lucas Giles, 1.5 tenths up. Can he steal all the way from his teammate? Just to avoid the cars there. Take us through.
At the moment, it's been a Red Bull show. 1-2 at the moment, a 10th ahead of the Ferrari of Jamal. It has looked fantastic all the way through for the Red Bull pair. Now, Tempos is behind, getting a nice slipstream, I think. But he has lost a bit in Sector 2. He's going to want to get it all together in Sector 3 to get pole position from his teammate Templos, the Portuguese maestro behind. Phoenix can't put it in the top 2 and keeps it in P3. He's bet his teammate on this occasion. Nice lap from Phoenix to get it in the top 3 and secure that position, hopefully. But Lucas Giles across the line does improve, but it's not enough. It's very close. And Templos improves by 2 tenths. That is a phenomenal lap. The Portuguese, his home race for the first time in FZR. And wow, Templos, he's put it on pole by an extra 2 tenths to spare. I think no one can beat him now. I think that's it. And I think that does mean Templos gets pole position in his home race. That is phenomenal. I am so happy for him. He's deserved this all season long. And he's finally got a bit of luck. Maybe it's not fighting for the podium, and maybe for the win. It's a Red Bull 1-2. What a way to start out in Portimao. The race is next, of course, but it's looking good for Red Bull.
Yeah, it just shows what practice can do. As I say, we've seen it in the Discord for many consecutive weeks, but here it just shows that it can pay off if you practice enough. Red Bull 1-2 in qualifying. Here are the standings then. It's looking good for Red Bull.
Wow, I am... Oof. That is unbelievable. In his home race, the Portuguese is on top in P1 by 2 tenths of a second. That is truly amazing for Templos, and I'm so happy for him to be able to set that lap time. And it's looking good for the Red Bulls. A 1-2 so far. And the Portuguese is on top. Wow. Templos in his home race for the first time has got it on pole. All to do for Templos in the race. Many laps to go. Let's see if he can beat his teammate. And the strategy needs to be key.
Certainly they'll be testing. They'll have been testing quite a few different strategies, I'm sure, when they've been doing their practice sessions. So they will know what the best is to go for. We've seen a couple of other teammates sharing their strategy in the Discord channels. So we'll have to see what tyres everyone starts on.
I'm not sure what a tyre deg is like. We had a practice session on Monday and it seemed okay, but we'll have to see what it's like in the race. Here we go in for the formation lap. For the first time out in Portimao. Can't believe this, the Red Bulls 1-2. I think they've deserved this all season, putting the most practice in and the most effort definitely into the server of all these drivers. But the Red Bulls are on top at the moment. Looking good for these drivers at the moment.
Yeah, great to see. So happy for Templos, pole position in his home race with his teammate behind. But shout out to Jack Craft, had a fantastic qualifying session in between the two Ferraris. Ferrari sandwich for Jack Craft, with Seth Martin close behind. And Jake Squid, winner in Miami, in 7th place. Big shot there from Lewis Piper, down in 8th. He said in the Discord that he was going to struggle. But let's see how many positions he can make up from the start.
I wonder how Templos holds it under the pressure. The two-time champion he's struggled quite a lot this season. We have absolutely smashed the track record, which was set by Lewis Hamilton at 118.7, and wow, Templos in his home race, we've seen him before dominate races last season, and see if Templos can bring that form back again in his home race. Can he get his first win of the season? Can he hold his teammate Lucas Charles behind? Let's see what he can do.
You get Phoenix an invite. Here we go then. Let's see who can lead off the line.
Now, all to do for Templos on this 4.6 kilometre circuit. Templos, Portugal, for the first time, his home race, gets pole position. The lights are starting to light up. Ooh, wow, let's see what Templos could do off the line. 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go here in Portimao. It's been a decent start for Templos, and it seems he has got away well to keep his teammate behind into turn 1. But Jamal has gained all he could and got it into P3. Nice was it for Jamal. And to keep that position, of course, Lewis Piper is overtaking his teammate of Jack Craft to get it into P4. Nicely does it for Lewis Piper. But what a start from Templos, and both the Red Bulls to keep it in a 1-2 position. Good start from that team. Phenomenal.
Yeah, great start from the Red Bulls, retaining their 1-2 positions. As we look behind, see quite a calm lap 1 for once.
Yeah, definitely. Only one incident really, with Phoenix having to get DSQ'd as of the disconnection, which is so unfortunate. But Jake Squid has spun at the back at Samsung, and that is very unfortunate for Jake Squid. It drops down to last position. Let's see if he can gain it back and try and get some points today. 32 laps to go, and at the moment it's looking good for the Red Bulls. Let's see how this pans out with strategy, race pace, but it's looking very fast for the Red Bull. Now, Seth Martin and Striker Boy currently in P6 and P7. It's looking good. Genator also, the Tier 2 driver, is currently in P8. A phenomenal first ever race in Tier 1 and doing well as a reserve driver. Look at this, drivers lining up behind. But yeah, unlucky for Phoenix as well not to get their racing today. Hopefully it won't happen again, as you never know, it could have been his first win today. But the Red Bulls are looking mighty. As what Jamie is eyeing up a move on Brodo. Now, ooh, trying it. Doesn't seem to have the straight line speed to get it done there, but on exit of corners, ooh, still can't do it. Going into turn 9 of Samsung. It's going to want to get close enough at the back to maybe strike a move into turn 10 and turn 11. But Striker Boy is eyeing up a move on his teammate. Look how close the grid is at the moment, all within a second of each other, up until P11. It's looking good for everyone to get a battle for the points. As Jake Squid has caught up already to the back of the pack. He's going to want to get some moves done to get back in DRS now. The front two have kept the same gap, with Jamal closing slightly more, and Lewis Piper probably separating also, but I don't know if that might be just straight line speed. We'll see. how it pans out. But I think setups are crucial, and especially downforce around here, as it needs it for the elevation changes. As Brodo NL is going down the inside of Nova Gibson, is going now around the outside. It's a nice move for Brodo NL to get the move done there, especially as Nova Gibson is dropped. It's now 3 wide. Now down to the hairpin. Let's see who gains the most. The McLaren is looking to get them all at once. Can't quite get it done.
Nova spins.
Jamie keeps position.
Seth Martin spun.
Seth Martin, no, he was running in P6, and that's going to affect him quite a lot. Hopefully he can get it back on track and try and get some points. But catch up for Seth Martin yet again. And it is at Samsung, where he has spun unluckily. But it is tricky, as Lucas Charles is very close to his teammate at the moment. Is Lucas Charles going to spoil the Portuguese home race for Templos? He's very fast on the straights. Lucas Charles, is he going to go down the inside at turn 1? It's side by side down the straights into turn 1. Lucas Giles takes the lead of the race from Templos. Is Templos going to fight back? I don't think he is, but Lucas Giles on lap 4 takes the lead. Is Templos going to do something about it, or they're going to just keep it calm at the moment just to gain the positions? But he is going to go for it. No team orders here at Red Bull. They are fighting for position. I wonder if it's going to be like this for the rest of the laps. Hopefully no collisions. But Templos retakes the lead. Wow, phenomenal lap, phenomenal racing from the Red Bulls. No team orders here in F but the Red Bulls still in 1-2. It's actually probably benefited them, as Jamal and Lewis Piper now fighting, and Lewis Piper has got through. Side by side going into turn 10-11 on the exit at the end of sector 2. Is Lewis Piper going to get in the podium positions? Yes he is. And is Jack Craft going to get Jamal too? Oh, as he spun around, Jack Craft was looking like he was having a phenomenal old race in P5. He was going to overtake Jamal for P4. Didn't quite get it done. Unlucky for Jack Craft. He's now down in P14, I'm pretty sure. Unlucky for Jack Craft. He's dropping positions like no tomorrow. Oh wow, unlucky for Jack Craft. That promotes Genator into P5. It's been a good old race for Genator in his debut into T1.
Up a move.
Into T1. Oh, it's very tight on the exit and probably pushed out slightly by Genator. Genator is going to want to impress the Tier 1 principals, of course. Now ending out Sector 1. Striker Boy is looking quick on exit and has got that move done by a country mile by the hairpin. Easily move from the Striker Boy to get Genator and gets P5. That's very good battling from the two drivers, and Striker Boy to get into P5. Good fight at the moment as Lewis Piper is very, very close to the back of Lucas Giles as Striker Boy gets 3:10 time penalty for track limits. But they don't really want to be fighting, does the Red Bull and the Williams, otherwise that might invite Jamal back in it. They're very, very close to the top 4 at the moment, and they don't want to make the rest of the grid close lap 2 as Striker Boy is looking quick, also getting positions done. Let's see if they do battle going into lap 6. Lewis Piper is going to want to gain all the positions he can to get that championship lead back. I mean, no, he already has that back, my bad. But to gain even more on Jamal behind in the championship and behind him on the track too. Just wants to separate the gap between them. But at the moment the Red Bulls are looking close enough. Oh, big wiggle for Piper, but looking fine for the Red Bulls at the moment.
Genator having a lovely little race. The Tier 2 driver reserving for Tier 1. Seems like fantastic pace. Can he translate that into a World Championship on Tier 2?
Yeah, he's definitely the one to watch in Tier 2 to get the promotion and call up for Tier 1 going into next season. Let's see if he can do it and join us on Friday for round 1 in Tier 2. Let's see who can win that one. Got some great drivers in there. Gonna want to get promotion into Tier 1, but we'll see on Friday who has the pace and who doesn't. It's very, very close yet again for Lewis Piper, but Lucas Giles is still in DRS range of 10 plus, so it probably will not benefit. A little bit of a wiggle for Lewis Piper, running, seeming to be a low downforce setup compared to the rest. He's gaining and gaining into turn 1. He's going to go around the outside of Lucas Giles, pushed out wide. Lucas Giles is going to want to keep his position. He's got the inside. Lewis Piper on the outside. He's side by side still round the left-hander, and he does get that position. Lewis Piper is up to P2. Is he going to spoil the Red Bull show so far? Jamal is going round the outside of Lucas Giles too. Lucas Giles is going to want to keep his position, and he does. Nice defending for Lucas Giles to at least keep P3. Hopefully he can fight back to get P2. Lewis Piper is on a good old charge in P2 at the moment, but looking good for him this race, and maybe on for the 4th win of the season, I'm pretty sure, and gonna want to extend his championship status, as it's both sector 2 on this lap keeps his car under control.
Hards for the top 3 then. Mediums down to P9. Seth Martin P10, P11, P12 on the hards. All the way down to P16 on the mediums. Kevin Slice and Brodo on the hards. Nova Gibson on the mediums. Let's see when the pit window is going to open as Jamal looks for the move on Lucas Giles going into turn 1.
Nice move for Jamal, and it's not looking good for Lucas Giles. Was P2 on the last lap fighting Piper, but on this lap it's dropped all the way down to P4. He's going to want to get these moves done and try and get a Red Bull 1-2. That is the best he can do at the moment, but Tempos is going to look like he's under pressure from Piper as well on the next lap, I'm guessing, with DRS, and nothing to save him as Nova Gibson gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, has retired in the pits. Is now down the inside. Pimpula is looking for a move on the Williams and just can't get it done. But Genator yet again trying to fight back at Striker Boy and get it back in P5. Striker Boy does have a penalty, of course, so if he keeps it this close to the end of the race, then he will get that position in P5. But Genator is looking very quick for a reserve driver especially, and he's going to look to impress the bosses of the other teams, but Genator is looking quick, and Jamal's as fast as lap 2, but Genator down the inside, easy does it on the straights into turn 1. I think Striker Boys are going to fight some back as Genator is looking absolutely mighty in this Mercedes car. Striker with the penalty too, nothing much he can do in sector 1 to keep him behind. Nice move from Genator, an important move to keep that top 5 position, but Striker Boy is going to try and fight it back on the exit. Gets the power down.
This fight is allowing Dams Barnes to close on in to these two. Can he gobble up some mistakes or an incident between the two and gain 2 positions from this battle?
Now the front 4 are getting close yet again. Templos seems to be maintaining that 6th, 7th, 10th gap at the moment, but it's important he does keep that, and no mistakes till the end for Templos if he wants to keep this win. Piper is looking strong. In the past, Templos hasn't had any sort of challenges, but with new drivers this season such as Lewis Piper and Jamal coming back to Templos is having a challenge for the win today, and maybe it'll be his first, of course, this season.
Yeah, his season didn't get off to the best of starts, but he's managed to pull those results in the past couple of rounds. Can he finish round 7 off with a victory? Keep Lewis Piper behind.
8 tenths. He seems to be gaining on the last few laps, just by about half a tenth a lap, and in the last 4 laps he's pulled out about another 2 tenths on Lewis Piper, which is looking good for Tempos. Few mistakes from Piper at the moment. I'm seeing a bit of oversteer through Samsung, but yeah, looking good for Templos at the moment. Jamal seems just to be dropping out of the DRS range, and that's going to really affect him on the straight, especially to Lucas Giles. Let's see if he can make that move, as Dams Parent is going to want to get involved in this fighting from Janet for the top 5, and with Janata and Striker Boy. With them two battling, it's allowed him to get within about 3/10 of these drivers, but it seems that can't get a move done on the straights. And here we go. Does Striker Boy get Janata back going into turn 1? He's probably gonna get forced down in the outside. Oh, goes to the inside. Striker Boy gets it done by the corner. The DRS seems absolutely mighty on that straight, and he gets that top 5 position back. This fight is gonna go right to the very end. Damsparren is going to want to get back, and Old Hoss is actually joined the battle too at the back in P8. Old Hoss, probably one of the most consistent drivers on the grid at the moment in P8. He's looking very, very quick to get closer to the top 7. But
Damsparren's starting to struggle on his side, seeing a lot of sliding and a bit of oversteer quite often now from the Alfa Romeo driver. When is it going to fit onto the hard compound tyres? Could be soon.
yeah, Damsparren has had a good old race so far in P7. For the Alfa Romeo, is going to want to get some more points on the board. For Alfa Romeo 2, with his teammate Nova Gibson not getting any, but we'll see how this one pans out nearing the end of the race. At the moment, Alfa Romeo are 4th, of course, with a win. That was with Jake Squid, of course, at the start of the season, but are dropping quick as the Red Bulls have gained on them. But on this lap, Janata caused a challenge. Damsparren 2, Old Hoss has just lost out of the DRS range. He's going to want to get that back as soon as he can, but Damsparren maybe has got a bit more grip in these tyres on the last lap. He's looking quick. He's gonna want to go for the move on Janata. He's gonna go round the outside. By the looks of it, he's gonna go for a switchback. Damsparren in the Alfa Romeo can't get it done on this occasion, but very, very close to the back of Janata, as Jamie on his first race for Essedar gets 5 time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Unlucky for the Mercedes, and Mercedes are last in the championship at the moment, not looking good for them. Needs to get some more points on the board. But yeah, unlucky. Janata looking very, very strong. Tier 2 driver reserving today in P6, trying to fight the current P3 driver in the championship, Striker Boy. These are crucial points for Striker Boy, of course, to try and get closer to the top 2 in the championship. But let's see how Janata can cause the challenges. Oh, spin for Damsparren, and those tyres seem to be losing grip, and we have seen on this occasion Old Hoss is gaining another position. We see him yet again. Consistency is key. P7 for Old Hoss, and Janata just calmly getting on with the race. No challenges for his position at the moment, and he's going to look to gain on Striker Boy. As Lewis Piper has got the fast lap on the last lap, and he's looking pretty quick, but Templos is looking to cover it off, and he's looking good at it at the moment. Jamal dropping back, and same with Lucas Giles. Unlucky for Lucas Giles on the first few laps, just all got took away from him. From P2 into P4, we're going to see how it goes on, especially with the pit strategies.
Another 3 seconds for Striker Boy. It takes up 6 seconds. That could, at the end, dropping down to about P9. So we're going to have to see how it all plays out. Could put him out of the points.
With this win, Templos would go up by a country mile in the championship, especially if Jake Squid doesn't score any points today. But Templos is looking mighty at the moment at his home race, looking for his first win this season, and we'll see how it goes from there and see if he can put a challenge for the prize pool. but Lewis Piper is going to want to say no to that. But 6/10 is around the gap. He's got DRS and just cannot get close enough to get a move on the Portuguese maestro in P1 at the moment. 5/10 is the gap. It's closed by about a tenth on the last lap, but that is with DRS, of course. In Sector 2, it seems that Templos is quicker on the exits of Samsung. But yeah, looking good for Templos at the moment. No mistakes, otherwise Lewis Piper is there to take it away from you.
Is he going to strike the move this lap? Or is it going to be the same old stay behind? Just use DRS to pull him away from P3. Could be a smart move and a smart strategy. And
yeah, he won't be close enough on this occasion, surely.
yeah,
It will maybe get him close enough on the back straight if he just keeps this gap, but it's going to be hard to, as Templos seems to have the pace on exit.
I think they're working with each other. They're not using ERS just to pull further and further away from the final podium position of Jamal in P3. Smart strategy.
But yeah, Lewis Piper is looking good at the moment, up 6 positions this race so far. But Templos maintaining it well. Both have good amount, about the same amounts of VRS at the moment. Not using it at all, really, to defend or attack.
Yeah, Striker Boy pitted as well, which sets Generator free. Let's see his real pace on these mediums. No dirt yet for him now.
Yeah, Generator looking very strong in P5 in his first race for Tier 1. Reserving stays doing a fantastic job for Mercedes, and hopefully can get them back on track in the championship to try and gain some positions and not finish dead last. New drivers for Mercedes, and let's see how they can put up a charge. As Lewis Piper yet again is not close enough on this occasion. Let's see how Striker Boy gets on with these new tyres on the hards. I'm going to be tricky to get up to temperature and get up to grip. So let's see if the overtake is greater than the undercut. Overcut even. Coming out of the pit lane now. Generator is, I think he is through. Yes, Generator.
Quite a big gap as well.
Yeah, especially with Striker Boy struggling to get past Kev the Slice.
But he will have them cold tyres, will Generator, so gap's closed so much already.
Has, but he's got to actually give Kev the Slice DRS, I'm pretty sure. As no, he didn't, not quite by the detection point, but Striker Boy gets that position done. That is probably crucial. Oh, was Kev the Slice on exit?
I think he did have
a much better exit.
Slice. On mine, his rear wing was open. Striker Boy is going to force Kev the Slice to make the move on Generator. Might be a double overtake here on the main straight.
As Lucas Giles is getting position. Jamal is now in the pit lane to see what strategy is better. Striker Boy
Lovely.
Switching positions, as that is a fantastic move from Striker Boy. He needed to get that position and has done, and now he needs to put up a battle for Generator. Generator's tyres should be up to temperature now, and hopefully can just try and gain everything he can. As where is Jamal going to come out of the pit lane at? Coming out in P7, no real charge, clean air. Nice gap for Jamal to come out into. Maybe the undercut is better than the overcut with no traffic. We'll see how it gets along with Lucas Giles when he pits.
Nearly lost it, did Kev the Slice.
Ooh, that's a 3-second time penalty as well for track limits. That's unfortunate. Not really deserved, as it was a bit of an error. Can't do anything about that. Ooh, it's very close.
Pushing Generator around the corner.
This is the battle for theoretical P5. Striker Boy with the 1 lap older tyres, more temp probably and more grippy.
10 plus in.
As 10 plus is going for the undercut on Piper to get a bit more track time. And let's see where 10 plus comes out of the pits. Is he going to come out just behind Seth Martin? Or is Jake Squid going to get him too? We'll see on exit.
I don't want to be ahead of Jake Squid. I don't think he is.
Oh, is that's
Cool
going to
car.
really affect him? Is the McLaren going to get him too? I think he is. Oh, no, not quite. Stays behind. But 10 plus 2 seconds is the gap. I'm not sure how this is going to pan out. As Race Addiction is going for the move on 10 plus with the cold tyres. He has got through, and that's going to annoy 10 plus. Oh, he's gone deep. Yeah, it's a nice move from 10 plus to get that positions back. He needed that too. Needed that clean air to gain as much as he can on Piper and see if the undercut can work. No mistakes for 10 plus, and he's got to take these tyres to the end. Mediums, hard to mediums, probably the better option, better strategy. That's what most of the top 5ers went for at the moment. And let's see as Lewis Piper does pit this lap. Let's see if 10 plus does get that position. Lewis Piper will have cold tyres, of course. And let's see how this one pans out. Battle for the lead, of course. Front 2 are pitting at the moment, Lewis Piper and Lucas Giles. Let's see if Lucas Giles can come out ahead of Jamal. Let's see if Lewis Piper can come out ahead of 10 plus. As it does seem that Lewis Piper has got that by quite some margin, but get that back easily. Nice move from 10 plus, and Lewis Piper's going to struggle on these cold tyres. Probably the right move from 10 plus. Do the undercut. His tyres, one lap older of course, but up to temperature and up to grip. Nicely done from 10 plus.
Yeah, I think Lewis Piper just moved out of the way because he knew 10 plus was going to be faster with his heated tyres compared to Lewis Piper's cold, stone cold tyres. So he might wait for the straight.
It's crucially Lucas Giles gets Jamal in the pits as well. But yeah, it looks good for Lucas Giles maybe to get back on the podium come the end of the race. I think 10 plus might actually get DRS on this next lap if Jake Squid doesn't pit. Let's see how close it is. Not close enough at the moment, but it'll be mediums against
He goes for it. Jack Kraft
old
on Andre.
hands.
Big dive down the inside. Can he make the move stick going side by side into the next braking zone?
Ooh.
Little bit of wheel banging, but I think he has done it. Jack Kraft, great move up into P12. Jake Squid in the pits.
Nice move into 14 for Jack Kraft, and he's going to want to regain the positions to try and maybe gain enough to get some good points and maybe get in the top 7 today. Jack Kraft has looked like he's had some good pace. Unfortunately for a spin earlier, but probably took him out of it. 10 plus did retake the fastest lap on the last one. Let's see if Lewis Piper can respond to that.
Getting swarmed by Andre and Jack Kraft on his cold tyres. As I keep mentioning, cold tyres very difficult to get up to temperature, especially on the hilly terrain of Portugal. Great battle here.
Lewis Piper. Now Jake Squid is going to really want to gain as much as he can and gain as much temperature in these tyres. Andre is looking to get that move done, and it's not going to be close enough to get any into sector 3. There's 10 plus, that's another fastest lap time, and not responded by Lewis Piper, gaining at the moment ever so slightly each lap. But 2 fastest laps in a row for 10 plus. Let's see if Lewis Piper can do anything about it. Lucas Giles is into P3 with Jamal quite far behind, actually 3.5 seconds behind in P4, and he's losing time is Jamal, so maybe the strategy is wrong, as he is on the hards, of course, will be probably better at the end of the race, but Lucas Charles at the moment is looking good for that P3 position. Hopefully it's going to be a 1-3 at the moment for Red Bull, looking good for the Red Bull team. There's CJ Squid trying to hyper move on Jack Craft ahead, and Jack Craft will have DRS on the next straight. As Jake Squid is looking quick, he has lost 4 positions at the moment of this race. It was looking good in qualifying, but all fell away from him with a spin at the start of the race. Jake Squid needs a bit more consistency come the end of the race to get some points on the board for AlphaTauri. Old Hoss is doing a good job in P7 yet again. No consistent race for him, but Jake Squid is gaining a lot on this lap, setting personal best sectors out there at the moment, but also Lewis Piper is very, very close to the back of Templos.
Much closer than we've seen. Templos does seem to pull away a bit in that corner. Has done every lap so far. When is Lewis Piper going to make this move? He's going to wait till the final lap, or is he going to get it done early and try to push on and build as much as gap as possible on the Red Bull?
Yeah, it's looking a bit sure it is. I think Jake Squid. I'm not sure what happened there. And a bit of error. So there was yellow flag set to 2, if I'm wrong.
I think it was the Mercedes running in P18.
But yeah, looking good for Jake Squid to get those final points positions and gaining on Dams Power at the moment, setting personal best sectors still. But all eyes on Lewis Piper and Templos. Yet again, not close enough on this occasion. Still set personal best sectors is Lewis Piper in the Williams, looking good for him to try and challenge for the lead as Jake Squid gets free turn time penalty. Won't affect at all as the drivers ahead of him and behind him have it too.
Yeah.
So looking okay as Old Hoss has been overtaken by Seth Martin.
Yeah, Seth Martin on the charge, that's purple sector 1, like we saw Jake Squid do a couple laps ago. Going to push these mediums as hard as he can to try and get as many positions as he can. As there is the ghosted car in front of SWAT Jamie. Black car should get out of the way as he gets DRS on the next straight. That could play a big role in him getting Janata. Obviously the striker will have the 6-second penalty as well. He's going to want to get within the range of that. I think he is already in the range of that. So P5 is on the cards.
Yeah, Seth Martin's going to want to make it at least an Aston Martin 5-6. Probably need to get those championship points to try and gain some positions, as they are currently in P7 at the moment, very close to McLaren and Haas and Alfa Romeo. So these points might be able to throw them a few positions in the championship.
Jake Squid gets down to on the end of the straight, little lock up there. Doesn't affect him too much. Points off.
As yeah, AlphaTauri having a decent race. Old Hoss up 5 positions, Jake Squid down 2. But Jake Squid catching his teammate at the moment. Battle for P8 is on and probably will be for the coming laps. Same old story at the front, just not close enough by turn 1. Lewis Piper, and he's going to want to probably leave this near the end of the race, but they both have saved up a lot of ERS too, so looks neat and tidy for Tempest at the moment to keep P1 at the moment.
Back of it. Lewis Piper on 79%.
Very late on the brakes.
Tempest on 57%. As you say, they both saved up the IRS for the battle, which is sure to happen at the end of the race. Could see move after move going into the final few laps, or is Lewis Piper going to wait till the final lap? So Tempest can't get him back in the next one.
Again, Alpine seem to just be lacking on the points again, as Andre isn't in any points at the moment, has lost out 2 positions in the race from the start. What I want to regain, try and close up to Race Addiction and hopefully Jack Craft too, but it's not looking good for Alpine for the standings. There's DRS for Lewis Piper yet again. It's a lot closer on this lap, but doesn't get any slipstream as Templos goes wide on the straight, so he doesn't get any. But yeah, yet again, same old story. P1 and P2 for these drivers.
Here we go, Seth Martin.
No changes.
In the DRS.
He has been gaining even more. Hard to medium seems the way to go, and into 6th place from that mistake earlier. Nicely done for Seth Martin. Gonna want to try and catch up to his teammate who's also on hards in P5. Hopefully he can do that in the coming laps. He's looking quick. It's Seth Martin looking to get big points and a big point haul for Aston Martin in Portimao this week. Looking good for Aston Martin at the moment. Strike upon Seth Martin, good driver pairing. Looking like they're gonna have a good battle come the end of the race. 6 laps to go.
Templos looking calm and composed as Jamie retires from the session. Let's hope that's not a safety car for Templos' sake. I don't think it will be.
He's off the racing line, so I think we're all good to carry on with no safety car conditions. But yeah, all good at the moment. As the track has been cleared, green flag again in sector 3. I think there's a spinner. Oh, and it's Seth Martin. Seth Martin has spun. He had gained all the positions back in P6 and has now spun in turn 15. Oh, it's such a shame for Seth Martin.
So good,
and looks like, yeah, definitely, it's looking like another miserable weekend for Seth Martin, and shame for him, and hopefully he does end up getting a point or 2.
To be fair though, if you look at the penalties, could be still in the points.
I think he'll still be battling for it too, as he's caught up to Race Addiction nicely. 6 times is the gap, and maybe can get some points on track as well. Still a decent amount of laps left, and hopefully he can keep it under control and try and get some overtakes done to get in the points on track. There's Lewis Piper yet again. Around 5 attempts isn't close enough. He's using a bit now, and he's very but so is Templos too to defend, and nicely done for Templos to keep it in P1.
It's good start getting tasty now.
Definitely starting to heat up at the front, with Piper starting to deploy a bit more energy on the straights. And let's see how close he can get. I think he probably needs to move in about 4 attempts to get a move done. If Templos uses ERS and has any left, and that's where it's going to get close at the end. But the battle for P4 is not over. Striker Boy has gained quite some margin on Jamal, and he's going to want to get a top 4 position. That'll be fantastic for Aston Martin. Would have been even better obviously if Seth Martin had been in behind in P5. Maybe could have got 4 5 faster Martin, but unluckily all got taken away from him.
And has a 6-second penalty as well. But has a 7-second gap to P6, so it looks like it will be P6. P5, sorry, for Striker Boy.
Same old story. At the front, didn't use any ERS on that occasion, did Lewis Piper, but he's very, very close to the back of 10 plus at the end of sector 1 and into the hairpin. It's probably going to be close again. Lewis Piper still setting personal best sector 1 times, but it's in sector 2 where 10 plus seems to just gain enough. Downforce on that car is really coming to use on 10 plus's Red Bull in sector 2. Stamp Spine is very, very close to the back of Jack Craft as Striker Boy does make the move on Jamal on track, but Jamal needs to keep within 6 seconds to keep P4 with Striker Boy's penalties applied. He will still be in P5, of course, if Generator doesn't gain anything. But Brodo NL is eyeing up a move on Kevin Slice, gets very, very close to the back of him. As it's not going to go for a move after that. Bail out. Let's see if can. Now at the end of sector 1, with DRS using a bit of VRS2. Nicely does it for Brodo now to get the move done. There's Lucas Giles. That's fastest lap time. That's a phenomenal lap for Lucas Giles, and maybe we'll get the extra point today. Nicely does it for Lucas Giles. 3 laps to go now. It's starting to heat up at the front. 4 times with the gap. 10 plus. The home hero, of course, in Sadar, looking to get his first win. Lewis Piper looking to get his 4th of the season and keep that championship charge going. Lewis Piper has looked very, very quick, up 6 positions. Qualifying wasn't going his way. It seems he was making a lot of mistakes on his lap, or maybe just didn't have the pace over 1 lap distance in the race. It's all came together for him at the moment. And Lewis Piper is looking very, very quick. You've got to think, if Phoenix was still in this, would he be up there too? We'll never know, but we'll have to find out next week how it turns out in the championship fight. I've noticed in turn 10 and turn 11, 10 plus takes a much wider line, where Lewis Piper keeps it a lot more narrow. 10 plus gets the better exit, but Lewis Piper exit the shorter distance. I'm not sure who's on top there. 10 plus in sector 2 does seem to be mighty though. Onto the straights, 3 laps to go. Lewis Piper is still not using any ERS. Maybe he's going to look to deploy it all on the final 2 laps. Now 2 laps to go, very, very close this time round, still not making a move.
Yeah, practically no gap between the cars going out of turn 1. Closer this time though. 10 plus doesn't get a better exit than Lewis Piper. Is it going to be this lap that Piper strikes a move on the Red Bull, or will he save it?
Yeah, Lewis Piper seems to just be staying behind at the moment. Maybe it's going to be a final lap move, using a bit more ERS out of every corner. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. I think there's been an incident between Seth Martin again, and that might just take him out of any chances of getting the points today. But Lewis Piper still setting personal best lap times, and he is very, very, very close on this lap. 3 attempts is the gap. Is this going to be a lap where it all changes for Lewis Piper, who's had a fantastic lap so far? Onto the straight, lap 31 at 33. Lewis Piper is deploying everything now. DRS wide open into turn 1, side by side both these cars are, and he is ahead. Lewis Piper takes the lead 1 lap after this one, and he will be the race winner for the 4th time this season. 10 plus, what can he do about it? Oof, wow.
No!
Oh, as he spun around. Oh, no, no, no. Not again. The luck is not on his side as Lucas Giles takes P2 away from him, and that's going to be a certified Lewis Piper win. But yet again, the home hero, it's been taken away from him. Won't be his first win this time out as Lewis Piper. He has taken it away again. But Wow. All taken away from Templos on this lap. It's still going to be a 2-3 for Red Bull at the moment, but still, Templos is going to be absolutely gutted to not get the race win here today in his home race in Portimao.
He's got to keep it nice and tidy though. Make sure he doesn't spin again and allow Striker Boy to collect him up as well. He's got to keep it on black stuff.
It's so unfortunate now. Heading on to the final lap is Lewis Piper and Templos. He is absolutely going to be gutted to not get his first win of the season here at his home race. He has looked mighty in qualifying and in the race. I think it's been another same old story for Lewis Piper. It's like Phoenix and Lewis Piper in Britain. It's Silverstone as the opponent spins yet again.
On the penultimate lap as well, it's pretty much a replica of Silverstone here at Portimao.
So unfortunate for Templos. I am absolutely gutted for him as Old Hoss is looking to get Genator. As Old Hoss, the consistency is always there for him at AlphaTauri at the moment. DRS for Old Hoss Radborn, and he's not going to get the move done. So I think that's certified
Gets
P6 for Genator.
Doesn't matter at all, as he's going to round the final corner.
It's been yet again another Lewis Piper show. He has gained everything he could and just stayed behind tactically on Templos and got all the ARS in his favour. It's a number 4 for Lewis Piper and the fastest lap too. What a race it has been for Lewis Piper, and yet again it got given to him on a plate as Templos spun. Lucas Charles P2 from the Templos spin, but another consistent race for Lucas Giles. Templos is going to be absolutely gutted not to get the win here at his home race today. With that spin, it all just got taken away from him. P3 though, as it is a Red Bull 2-3, it's still great points for the Red Bull team, the highest scoring team out there today. Jamal P4 with Striker Boy's penalties applied. Genator P6. That's been a fantastic debut in Tier 1 for Genator. Old Hoss P7, another consistent race to outscore his teammate in P8. Didn't get close enough at the end to get a move done. Downs Parent P9 for Alfa Romeo, good decent point for Alfa Romeo. Jack Craft in the Williams gets another point for the Williams team and get more points on the board. We found out the final points position, but gutting for Templos.
Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, another spin on the penultimate lap causes a Lewis Piper win. Everything's going his way at the moment as he leads the championship. It's going to put him quite a few points clear, but Red Bull close the gap in the Constructors. There is your race results for today. Yes.
Yeah, so
if there's any interviews,
so gutting for Templos, who gets P3 in the end. I think the team principal will still be happy. Duras, the CEO of Red Bull, will still be happy to get the 2 and 3 today. That's fantastic points for the team, and obviously gutting not to get the race win, but good to get the points on the board and the highest scoring team here out in Portimao. As we see if anyone is now getting the interviews, but yeah, crucial race for Red Bull and their charge is not over.
yeah, we've just launched the subscriptions for Twitch affiliates, so if any of you do want to, obviously the Prime sub would be much appreciated to go towards our prize pool to fund more competitive racing. So yeah, would much appreciate it if you did drop us that sub, as I think we've got a couple waiting for the interviews. So bringing Seth Martin, I think, is going to be a bit hot-headed. So just watch out.
Now, Seth, yet again.
That's
Gutting.
again, man. I've done it again.
You've done it again. No, but seriously though, it's just gutting yet again. Your teammate did get some good points. Luckily, it could have been up there, just behind him. But yet again, P6 to P12 overall in the race. Just explain how that panned out for you.
Well, I decided to do the horror strategy because I knew that a lot of people go mediums, so I'll have the faster tire in the second stint of the race, and it was going so well. It was going so well. I had a spin at the start, but I got back up to like I think P6 as you said, and it was just going so well. And then I seen somebody like crash, and I was like, oh, safety car potentially, and that just put me off. And then I just put throttle too much, and I span out. And then towards the end, there was another collision with the McLaren. I don't know really what happened there. I think it was more of a racing incident than anyone's fault because apparently he was trying to let me buy it. But anyway, just bottling it really, average me.
Very hectic in that race. It was a very close battle for the points overall. If you did keep in P6, you probably would have got the top 5 too, which is unfortunate with your teammate getting quite a few penalties on the board. But I think you did have the better strategy out there today. Portimao is a tricky track with all the elevation changes. But going into next week, what are your thoughts on Zandvoort?
I think hopefully I'll do quite well because I think I'm okay with the kind of higher downforce tracks. I'm just gutted about today because obviously I missed last week and then the week before that I had absolute howler. So I'm gonna really try and focus now and really get the consistency in there and hopefully bring back a representative result next week.
Yeah, definitely. I wish you the best luck for them to get some points on the board. Luckily, teammate did get some points on the board, and Aston Martin are still on the up in the championship. Wish you the best of luck for next week, and hopefully get some points on the board. And we'll see you then.
Thank you.
Yeah,
See you.
cheers.
See you later.
As we will bring in Genator.
Wow, what a race. What a debut in Tier 1 it has been for you. Just explain your race for me. P9 to P6. Wow.
Well, first of all, in quali, the lap came out of nowhere. I really didn't expect to put in a lap like that. And yeah, it was a really good quality result for me. On the start, I think an AlphaTauri spun. And then Jack Croft spun in the Williams as well. So people around me were just making mistakes and I was just trying to keep on track. And yeah, I was just able to keep within DRS of Striker Boy for most of the time. Had some really good battling with him. And yeah, it's just crazy to think P6. I was just able to keep it really consistent. I was quite close to getting a penalty for track limits, but luckily I didn't. And yeah, it was just really good result for me.
Yeah, it's been very, very impressive. So consistent to keep up with Striker Boy. He's in P3 in the championship. You're currently in Tier 2. And on Friday, we'll see how the pace compares to them guys. But what an impressive drive to impress the boss at Mercedes at the moment in Tier 1. And going on to next race, hopefully you can reserve for them too if the spot opens up. But going on to Friday, how does this boost your confidence?
Yeah, it just helps a lot, knowing what I'm able to do. Yeah, it's just trying to stay consistent throughout the race. That's all I really have to do because I have somewhat pace, but it's just the consistency that really gets me the points. And yeah, it's really it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a phenomenal race from you. Congratulations on the P6.
Thank you.
Well done.
See you later.
Right. The race winner, Lewis Piper. We'll drag him in.
Wow, Lewis Piper, 4th time race winner this season, top of the championship by a mile. Wow, what a race it's been. Congratulations. Just gives a debrief on the race.
Yeah, I think it wasn't too bad of a race, I think. It kind of struggled. Well, I didn't struggle in quali. I think I actually would have got pole in quali, but I got blocked by some Mercedes. I don't know who it was. I don't have the driver names on, so I can't tell. But I made a good start, so I got me decent places, and then kind of just fell into place from there. I would have
Yeah.
lost the race had Tempo's not spun, but you know.
I mean, you've got to be consistent, I guess. But yeah, 4th time race winner, going on to Sandvort next week. How are you feeling going on to the next track?
Um, from past races, I think I've done all right around it. So we'll see. But hopefully I don't spin like it has been the past 2 races. So, I mean, hopefully whoever's in first spins, I guess. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, a fantastic race from you again. 4th time race winner this season, top of the championship by a mile, looking to get that prize pool. And yeah, wish you the best luck for next week. Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on the 4th race win.
thank you.
Well done.
See ya.
Right, there we go then. Round 7 around Portimao is complete. And we will see you for round 8 in Zandvoort. So thank you all for watching. We appreciate it. Consistent viewers again on Twitch. And we'll move on to round 8 next week. Tier 2 on Friday. Round 1 around Silverstone. Make sure to join us for that as well. And thank you all for joining.
See you later.